We often talk about getting consumer feedback, getting customer feedback, and you know that I'm a huge fan of that. I'm a huge fan of fast feedback cycles combined with fast action cycles. But it's not just getting that feedback cycle in order, it's also about how do you listen to the feedback that you get from your customer, because most of the time you don't have to implement their feedback in a direct kind of way. You don't literally have to follow what they say. It's about understanding what kind of value that people are looking for. And I just want to give you two examples that will contrast this. A while ago, Ford, they asked their customers what they thought about electrical vehicles, about EVs. And one of the conclusions of that survey was that a lot of people mentioned that they would miss the smell of gasoline. This was in the US, so they said we're going to miss the smell of gasoline when we drive an EV. So that was like the top rated answer from that survey. So the guys from Ford, and this will sound like an April's Fool's joke, but it's really what they've done. The guys from Ford said, okay, we need to change this. So they developed a kind of car perfume that has like a scent of gasoline in it. So in their EVs, they can spray now this little perfume that will make it smell a little bit like gasoline. Now, in all honesty, I don't know in reality if you will find a lot of people that are actually going to become excited if they smell gasoline in their EV. But this is an example of doing literally what the customer asked. And very often, that's not the best decision. It's about understanding what they need. And let me give you another example. It's an historical example, and it's linked to sushi. One of the most popular sushi rolls in the United States is the Californian Roll. So it has rice on the outside, it has some crab meat in it, boiled crab meat, it has some cucumber, it has some avocado, and it's on every menu in a sushi restaurant or a Japanese restaurant in the States, and a lot of people use it as an introduction to sushi. Now, this was invented about 40 years ago by one of the first Japanese sushi chefs in the US. Because back then, the idea of raw fish wasn't something that sounded really attractive to a lot of people in Western markets. And the idea that you had the seaweed on the outside, the nori on the outside, also made people look like, this is probably not for me. This is for diehard Japanese food lovers. So I'm going to pass on this. So there was this Japanese chef who heard this over and over again. He said, okay, raw seafood, people don't get excited about it. The idea that you don't see the rice, but that you see the nori is apparently also a big problem. So what he did is he tried to understand the culture of the West and change the sushi accordingly. And that's how the Californian roll came about. He said, okay, they love to eat crab meat here. It's boiled, so it's not raw. They love avocados here. We're going to put the rice on the outside, so it looks completely different, and it's more something that fits within the Western culture. And that was how the Californian roll was born, and it was a huge success. But this is an example of trying to understand what the barriers are and then acting upon that in a very smart way by making it more attractive to the user, even though no one said, hey, use boiled crab meat, if you add some avocado and if you put the rice on the outside, we're going to eat it. No one said that. They just complained about a few things, and then he completely reinvented the whole thing. So I think that is the quality that we need when we're going to invest in customer feedback.